Chi does not approve of the Atari 5200 controller at all. Hey there, real gamers and gatekeepers, Retro Rob here, and today we are going to look at my Atari 5200 collection. It's not huge by any means, but I think there's some pretty great games in there. I haven't added a whole bunch to it just because up until recently I haven't been super interested, but I just started playing it when I redid the game room, and it's not terrible. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. The games are a little bit better than the Atari 2600 graphically. Gameplay wise, kind of a mixed bag, depends on the game. If you've got a decent controller, the Atari 5200 can be fun. If you don't, it can be really annoying. But anyway, let's take a look. And here's my Atari 5200. This is the 2-port model. I also have a 4-port model, which was the original one. That one I keep in storage because the video quality is not that great. What they had is an inline switch for the RF, so if you turned it on, what it would do is it would switch to game automatically. You know how older games had a switch for game and TV? Well, the other model would do it automatically, but the problem is it got a lot of interference on the line, so the picture isn't quite as good. So anyway, at least that's my experience with them. I've never seen one that had a great picture. If you've had different experience, let me know. Anyway, here's the controller. It is an analog stick. It somewhat self-centers. It's not amazing. The later ones seem to be a little bit better with this, but I keep 2 more in the storage rack. It did have a built-in storage rack. Wait, there we go. And you can see there's 2 controllers in there. You store them upside down like that. I keep extras around because they do tend to break. I haven't had one break during gameplay yet, but I definitely have had it where I played it, it was fine, and then the next time I go in, it's broken. So keeping some extra ones is a good idea so you don't have to stop playing when one goes bad. Again, I haven't had a terrible problem with that while playing, but I definitely have had a problem with it if it sits for a while. So pretty neat little device. It is gigantic. But, you know, the bigger the better, right? Keep 2 of these in boxes up here as well, because you never know when you might need them. Plus, I think they look great on display. When you turn the Atari 5200 on, you get this nice, reassuring red light. Very nice. Here's what Mario Brothers looks like on the Atari 5200. Looks pretty good, right? That sewer gas just passed right through Mario. Here's what Joust looks like on the Atari 5200, and this is a big step up from the 2600's version. While it's still kind of monocolor when you look at the actual jousters, what the heck are they called? There's a name for them, wasn't there? Yeah, I can't remember it. But anyway, look at how the ground looks. It's got more detail in it. I think it's a much better looking version of the game. And this is what Kicks looks like on the Atari 5200. It's actually a really good game. It's one that I've probably played more than anything on the 5200. The controls aren't 100% perfect. I have problems with it sticking every once in a while, but it's thoroughly enjoyable. Just really pretty darn well done. It gets a thumbs up from me. All right, let's take a look at my collection.
Warning: radiation at unsafe levels.
Let's get started with the games. My first game is Joust. As you can see, it's not a boxed version of it. Pretty decent game. I've played it a few times, but boy, the controls are hard. I gotta say. It is, I can just say that ahead. Almost every one of these games, not all of them, but almost everyone suffers from some control issues at one time or another, except for my next one here, which is Moon Patrol. It actually controls great, at least if you have a decent 5200 controller. It's really fun to play. I really like this game. I think it's the first game I ever played on the 5200, and pretty good. Not a bad version of the arcade classic. Mario Brothers, the original. Isn't it weird seeing like Mario on a not Nintendo platform? But back in the day that used to happen. In fact, Donkey Kong was across pretty much all platforms back in the day, and that was just awesome. But not anymore. Nintendo keeps their own to their own systems. Life has changed. Centipede. Fairly competent version of Centipede. Looks nice. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Atari 2600 version, so I find this one to be way more enjoyable than that one. Just looks better. Here's what I want to show you. This is Star Raiders for the 5200. It was a great game on the 2600, came with a separate pad, but of course on the 5200 you already had that. So on the back here, you've got this right here, which is an overlay that goes onto the controller. And we'll just put that back in there, but solid game. And this is the last of my free games. I actually don't hate this version of Pengo. It looks good and plays okay, but you know, it suffers from 5200-itis. But still, I love Pengo. I've got several different versions of it, even some knockoff versions. I should probably do a video on that. But Pengo, solid game. Pick it up for your 5200. You'll enjoy it. Now let's go on to the boxed games.
Thumbs up, comment and subscribe, or I will go Skynet on your butt.
Here's one of my more rare games, and one of the games with the better covers. Miner 2049er, yes, the box is beat up, for the 5200 by Big 5 Software. One of my more liked platformers. This is actually a pretty solid platformer for the 5200, even though it's a little harder to play, but I have played it a few times. It's not too bad. And this is odd. The programming team that brought you Defense Command and Robot Attack for the TRS-80 now amazes you with the most spectacular game ever for the Atari 5200. Features include extensive use of color. By the way, look at that screenshot. It looks nothing like the game in real life though. 4-channel sound, player missile graphics, 10 different levels, difficulty adjustment, high score table, demo mode, 100% machine language, and runs on any Atari 5200. That's right, any of them. Is that a deal? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I do want to show you this cartridge. I'm not going to pop many of them out, but this one's actually interesting to look at. Oop, it's red. Oh, the cover came off because somebody glued it on. That looks horrible. Anyway, I've actually got something that'll reattach this halfway decently. That's so sad. But if you look at it, look at nice looking red cartridge, right? There we go. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna have to clear off that glue because somebody clearly did a hacky job of gluing it on. Let's go to the next game. Next we have Galaxian. What the heck do you think happened to these boxes, man? The art's really nice on this one. Not as nice as Miner, but it's got good art, as Atari often did. The Galaxian fleet has invaded. Now you can battle them right in your own home. There's two-way action in this game. As you fire at them, they'll fire back at you. All that's required of you is quick reflexes and an accurate aim. Can you destroy the Galaxian fleet before they destroy you? Probably not. And here's River Raid. I like that it says Carol Shaw's River Raid. And there is the back. Let's zoom it in a little bit. There we go, so you can see things better. The best-selling all-out battle adventure by Carol Shaw. Codename, River of No Return. An ever-changing, ever-challenging water fortress of enemy activity is your destination. I love this picture, like everything's going on it. But anyway, a series of vital enemy bridges is your target. Unfortunately, there's only one way at them. Straight up the river, through the thick of trigger-happy choppers, lethal land tanks, helicopters, and hot air balloons. Man. I'm excited. I want to play it right now. Right freaking now. Yes! Sweet! Next, we have the Arcade Hit of the Year Pole Position. This year's arcade hit with real motion graphics. Look at that. Nice. And here's the back. of the box. And we'll zoom in a little bit. Maybe bump that camera up just a little bit, just a little, there, fight. There we go. Get set for a thrilling new sensation with real motion graphics. What the heck did we have before then? Atari puts you behind the wheel of a sleek Formula One racer. You go for the #1 starting spot, the pole position. Nice. Looks and plays like the arcade game. It's close. If you've ever played the 7800 version, that version's great. Apparently this one's trackball compatible though. Kind of like that idea. And they put their... I love this. I don't know if you can see it, but they put their high scores on the back of the box. And that used to be a thing. Or on the top flap. Looks like they did. Looks like there is some info there. But anyway, yeah, you used to put them either on the top flap or in the manual. It's another place you could. Let's go on. This is my only sealed game for the Atari 5200, Jungle Hunt. It also looks like it got beat up. I have a hard time getting not beat up games for the 5200. Jungle Hunt. Now you can play the arcade hit in your own home. The graphics and gameplay are so realistic, you'll think you're on your own video safari. I agree. What a pretty game. It's a pretty good version too. I should probably get an unboxed one. You know what? I might do a video. Maybe a Sorry Atari I'll do, and we'll play this one. Here we have Pac-Man. It's not for resale because it was sold with the device, but it's a good game. I mean, the controls are a little bit naff, as the British say. Here. Let's read it. Now's your chance to really excel in arcade-like fun. Atari Pac-Man is as fun as the original arcade game. Arguable. Chase the ghosts, eat the dots, and go for the tasty fruit bonuses. Master the maze to earn the key and a whopping 5,000 bonus points. Sweet. It looks okay. It's not... Again, it's really hard when you've played on the 7800 to get super excited about some of the games for the 5200. Some are better than others. I'm not huge on this version of Pac-Man. Just me though. Alright, we're on to the last game. Look at that. It's Q*bert by Parker Brothers. And he's swearing. It's part of the arcade game series. Let's turn this around. Q*bert springs to life with all the adventure of the popular arcade game. Colorful graphics and arcade-like sounds accompany the game's lively action. Hop Q*bert up and down steps of a three-dimensional pyramid, changing each step's color as he lands. Yeah, pretty awesome. It's a good game. I was actually big into this game when it first came out. There was a Commodore 64 knockoff called Slinky by Cosme, and I really loved that one. So I like the premise of it. It's a decent game. I can't even say I played it on the 5200 though. It's kind of sad. Maybe I'll try it out. Alright, that is it. And that wraps it up for the Atari 5200 collection. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything I absolutely should get. I am actively hunting for Atari 5200 games, so it would be helpful if there's something really great that I'm missing out on the 5200. Alright, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.